think the mustache tax deduction is clearly a spoof, and I think the spoof is built off the fact that there's so many silly loopholes in the current tax code that this professor decided to make fun of them. For example, there is a $250 deduction in the tax code for real for teachers buying school supplies. That's the type of loophole that this professor is making fun of. Well, the professor put together a document to sell his mustache deduction that looks exactly like the sort of lobbying documents you see in Washington for every business and special interest group pushing their own deduction. For example, he claims all kinds of economic benefits for his mustache deduction. He claims that it's good for society as a whole, when really it's just a narrow special interest loophole. So, you know, there is a giant problem with the tax code, and this professor is bringing some humor to the situation. Yeah, let's look at a real tax deduction in the code, the $250 deduction that teachers can take for school supplies. Well, I mean, why shouldn't I be able to deduct the cost of business suits here at the CATO Institute because I need them for my job? You could say that just about everybody. How about construction workers deducting the cost of their construction boots? You can go on. And unfortunately in Washington, the powerful special interest lobbies make this case that they should get special treatment, but the result is higher tax rates for everyone and a lot of waste in the tax code. Well, the mustache deduction, they claim that it would be good for the economy. They claim that mustache wearers in society are persecuted or penalized, and thus they need special treatment. They say that having a mustache deduction is good for society. So these are all the sorts of arguments you hear from every special interest group in Washington, both for tax deductions and special spending subsidies that a lot of groups get. I might be biased because I've never worn a mustache and I don't plan to, so I probably wouldn't qualify for this deduction, so I'm a little biased against it. I've never seen any prejudice against mustache wearers. This Mustache Institute of America claims that there's prejudice against people with mustaches. I don't believe it, and I don't believe they should have special treatment. The interesting thing about the mustache tax deduction is it actually parallels a lot of the new special loopholes in President Obama's new budget. The president has all kinds of new tax credits and deductions for green cars and green buildings and advanced manufacturing and all kinds of other stuff. I don't think the mustache deduction is any more crazy than some of the stuff that is in the current tax code or has been proposed by President Obama. An example of the type of ridiculous tax break that is pushed on Capitol Hill is former Representative Patrick Kennedy from Rhode Island for a long time pushed a special deduction for luxury yachts because yachting was important to his district. So here is a liberal member of the Democratic Party was pushing a special break for rich people in his district just because it was good for his district. So that's the type of lobbying that goes on Capitol Hill over the tax code. I think we could get a mustache deduction in the tax code if the mustache lobby has powerful friends on Capitol Hill. So the key question is, how many members of the House and Senate tax writing committees wear mustaches? If the chairman of those committees wear mustaches, this new proposal may have legs on Capitol Hill.